हेलो एंड वेलकम गाइस, रेडियो जिंदगी सुन रहे हैं आप 1550 AM पर. दिस इज वेदिका एंड शो अभी हम शुरू करने वाले हैं विच इज बिकमिंग द पॉपुलर शो ऑफ रेडियो जिंदगी, एंड दैट इज द साकेत भाटिया एस्ट्रोलॉजी शो. So guys, as I always say that when Saket ji comes on air, he always educates us. He teaches us about our own stars, about how we can get benefited by learning our own birth chart. And that is what you will do in next 1 hour. And if you have any question, if you have anything you want to ask, you can definitely give us a call. The studio lines will be open shortly. If you would like to connect directly with Saket ji, 408 6395300 is his direct number. Website hai unki by his full name, which is saketbhatia.com, and you can email him info@saketbhatia.com. With that, let me welcome Dr. Saket Bhatia, who is live with us today at Radio Zindagi. Dr. Saket Bhatia has a PhD in astrology and is a certified professional numerologist with over 25 years of experience. And you can definitely get benefited when you seek his guidance and connect with him for all the questions you have in your life. Once again, unka number is 408 639 5300 and the website is saketbhatia.com. With that, hello and welcome, Dr. Saket ji. कैसे हैं आप?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Wonderful. So, आज पोस्ट दिवाली हमारा पहला शो है. हाउ वाज योर दिवाली फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल?
Wonderful. And listeners of Radio Zindagi, very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year to all of you.
सो हम बात कर रहे थे बिफोर दिवाली अबाउट द करियर एस्पेक्ट्स. सो आर वी गोना कंटिन्यू दिस वीक?
We should. Last week हमने डिस्कस किया था कि what causes somebody to change their career. Right timing क्या है?
जी.
आपने काफी बार सुना होगा कि people call in and say, you know, हमारे शो पे कि I've been in the same job for 20 years. I'm not very happy. तो ऐसा क्या हो जाता है कि आप 20 साल एक ही जॉब में अटके हो या हैप्पीली बैठे हो, राइट? व्हाट कॉजेज यू टू स्टिक इन योर जॉब? व्हाट कॉजेज यू टू मूव जॉब्स? व्हाट इज द गुड टाइम टू मूव? You've also heard stories where people have said, I had a chance to move, लेकिन हमने किया नहीं, राइट? You've heard cases where लोग कहते हैं कि हमने कंपनी ज्वाइन की, we made millions through stock options, right? Good prosperity, good leadership, good growth. So we need to understand कि ये क्यों होता है. Last week हमने कहा था कि planets, houses, yogas, and transits. These will tell you what is a good time to change your job. Remember?
Right.
I explained that you can predict the timing of job using these. हमने ये भी कहा था कि when you have the sun moon eclipse in a certain house जो महीने में 2 बार होता है, in your 10th house, that's a good time to change your job. Predicting when to change your job is complicated. It is a multifaceted approach. It requires thoroughly understanding your birth chart.
Okay.
The 10th house, the planets sitting in the house,
Yes.
the lords of the 10th house, the aspects on the 10th house, gochar, which is called transit on the 10th house. ये सारे हमें देखने पड़ते हैं. Only with that we are able to tell you how good this time is going to be for you to change your job.
Right.
Right? And is it even worth trying to change your job or not?
सो ये तो हुई चेंज की बात, जिसको हमने थोड़ा बहुत कवर किया था इन द लास्ट वीक. सो आर देयर एनी एस्पेक्ट्स और एनी पर्टिकुलर टाइम्स और इफेक्ट्स which affects the growth of your career?
So changing job and career growth are related but independent.
Right.
Right? It's like a mother and child relationship. They are related but they are independent. Both need to be in tandem for you to be successful.
Right.
You need, most important thing however is successful के लिए you must have a good mindset. You must be optimistic, you must be happy in your job. क्योंकि happiness नहीं है तो फायदा नहीं है जॉब करने का.
जी.
Just for money you're still going to be depressed. तो when it comes to career growth, we must study the D10 chart, divisional chart. हमने divisional chart की discussion की थी पहले shows पे.
Yeah.
What is a divisional chart? Think of divisional chart as a more detailed explanation of a particular house in your birth chart.
Yeah, further breakdown. जी.
So आपकी जैसे second house है, which is your house of wealth. How much money will you have? How much property will you have? Where will you get the money from? How will you spend it? उसके लिए हम अपना second house देखते हैं ना. Then we study the D2 chart, which is called the Hora chart. Same way, when you are looking at somebody's career growth, what career is right for them, how far they will go in their career, relations they'll have with their managers, should they start their own business, we have to look at the D10. It's called the Dasamsha chart. The Dasamsha chart is made, जैसे last show में बताया था, we take your 10th house and we break it into different segments. And उन segments में planets कहाँ आते हैं, वहाँ से हम D10 चार्ट बनाते हैं. The D10 chart is actually very good to determine what is a better career for you. So lots of people call, should my daughter be a doctor?
Is this the
Remember
right
last week?
path? Yes.
Is this the right path? तो उसके लिए we must study the Dashamsha chart.
Mhm.
वहाँ पर हमें दिख जाता है. There are 3 things in the Dashamsha chart that are important. First, which planet is placed in the 10th house.
Okay.
Second, 10th house का lord कहाँ placed है.
Okay.
And third, what are the aspects on the 10th house? Now again, we are not going to be discussing the ascendant chart. Janam Kundli नहीं discuss कर रहे आज.
Mhm.
Today we are only discussing your D10 chart. That's it.
Okay.
Just D10 chart.
So, but this D10 chart, as you said, that it's like the further breakdown. So, does it require like a lot of time, or like somebody, how much time somebody should look into? Can you do it in one meeting, or do they need to have multiple appointments with you?
See, all these charts are made from the Janam Kundli.
Mm-hmm.
So surprisingly, when you come and you ask, what is the right career for me? Knowing your birth chart, we can make your D10 chart mentally also.
Okay.
Although it is not going
It's
to
a
be.
lot of calculation.
Yeah,
right?
but we can get a basic idea.
Yeah.
We can get a basic idea of what it needs to be. Like I told you always, right? When I talk to you, I say, okay, she has a strong Venus. She
Yeah.
has a moderate Venus, Rahu,
Mhm.
and she has a strong Jupiter. We know those things about you. And Mercury is also very well placed. That's why you're doing your RJ job. तो अगर आपकी हम D10 chart बनाए, we know for fact we're going to have Venus at the 7th house or 10th house just for you. वो हमें पता है होगा.
Okay.
राहु भी जो है वो 11th house में होगा 99% आपके केस में. So when we study the chart, some people come into a company and they suddenly start growing. That's because the D10 chart is very strong. Remember, D10 chart is not just used to know when the job should be changed. It is also going to be used to know how growth is going to impact you in your career, how successful you will be, how much money you'll make, how many people will report to you, what is the right career for you. Everything you related to career, D10 chart.
Wow, it's pretty prime. So definitely for growth and career, we should look for D10 chart. So are D1 and D10 tied in any ways?
D10 is your Janam Kundli.
Yeah.
Nothing in life can contradict your Janam Kundli. However, planets can be placed differently in the D1 chart and the D10 chart. They can either contradict a little bit or make it stronger. For example, अगर आपका Jupiter is moderate in your ascendant chart, we know you can be a lawyer, we know you can be a politician, we know you could be a park ranger. ये careers हैं आपके लिए.
Okay.
But in your D10 chart, if it is exalted, then we know these career paths are identical, well suited for you. So D1 is the core. D10 is refinement. जैसे हमने last time कहा था, D1 will tell you your personality, D10 will tell you your nature.
Right.
More refinement, further refinement.
Yes,
But obviously it is very hard to do on one call, you know. People call and say, when will I get a job?
Yeah.
D1 chart.
Exactly.
But if somebody calls and says, how successful will I be?
It has to be D10.
It has to be D10 and that will take time. So if we want to understand ये D10 chart कैसे चलती है और D10 chart में क्या important है, then we need to explain that in detail today. So we're going to discuss a little bit about all those charts and how they work and what the impacts are. So what I would like to do is I'd like to talk about आपकी D10 chart में favorable outcome कैसे हो सकता है in your career which is promised in your D1 chart. So we must examine the 10th house of your Janam Kundli. सबसे important है वो. If the 10th house of your Janam Kundli is strong, then we know that your career is going to be strong. Now in the D10 chart, we have to study the same house and the D10 chart ascendant. और अगर वो भी strong है, nothing is going to stop you in life. लेकिन अगर वो weak होते हैं, then they are going to cause some hardships. Again, in my show, I have repeatedly said, astrology never denies. Astrology gives you what you want. It gives you what you deserve. And you can get much more in life provided you put in more hard work. So astrology can give you, your D10 chart will promise you stuff, and it's up to you to go that route, to get that success you want in life.
Absolutely. Opportunities are presented to you. You're saying it perfectly right, and then you have to utilize them. So listeners, सुन रहे हैं आप the Saket Bhatia Show. And if you have any question, we will be taking a couple of calls. 510-770-1550 is the studio line number. If you have any question, you can give us a call. So we have a couple of callers waiting.
Okay.
Hello, you're live on air with Dr. Saket
हाँ
Bhatia.
जी,
Go ahead with your
हाँ
details.
जी, हाँ जी. हेलो.
Hello, how are you?
मैं ठीक हूँ सकेत जी. मैं आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछने अपने मकान के बारे में. एक्चुअली मैं जिस हाउस में रहती, पहले मुझे शुड आई गिव माय ओन डेट ऑफ बर्थ?
Your name will also help so we know how to address you.
अच्छा. माय नेम इज नीलम एंड माय डेट ऑफ बर्थ इज October 28, 1949 and born in Delhi, India, 5:55 p.m.
So just to repeat that, 5:55 p.m., right?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
5:55 p.m. in New Delhi,
In
India.
Delhi. हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
October 28th.
हाँ जी.
Acha, let me just make this. So your question is not related to career. It is related to property today.
It is my house, yeah, property. Actually, the way I'm living in this house and the door is south. I would like to get more information. Which house direction and should I buy the house? I am interested in buying the new house because I've been living in this house for the last 25 years. और चांसेस क्या है हमारे इस हाउस से मूव करने के कब चांसेस है और कौन सा मुझे अच्छा मैं कितने दिनों से देख रही हूँ मकान को अच्छा मिल नहीं रहा. काफी टाइम से देख रही हूँ, कितने सालों से. और हमारे लिए कौन सी डायरेक्शन अच्छी होगी. हमें काफी मतलब यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम इस मकान में आ रही है.
तो क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है आपको मकान में?
हमारी प्रॉब्लम यह है कि हमारी कोई प्रोग्रेस नहीं हो रही है. हमें ज्यादा परेशानी बहुत है. बहुत तकलीफें आई हैं. मेरे हस्बैंड की भी डेथ हो चुकी है, वो भी अचानक मतलब चले गए. उनको वैसे 16 इयर्स हो गए हैं. कोई किसी तरीके से बच्चे की शादी नहीं हो रही है. हर तरफ से मतलब परेशानियां हैं. फाइनेंशियली भी ठीक नहीं है हम. वो भी हमें ज्यादा मतलब कि कोई किसी तरीके से प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं. आई वांट टू चेंज द हाउस, लेकिन मैं पिछले कई सालों से देख रही हूँ, 20 ईयर से मुझे कोई हाउस अच्छा मिल नहीं रहा है. और इस मकान से मैं निकलना चाहती हूँ. कब तक हम निकल सकते हैं इस मकान से? हम निकल नहीं पा रहे इस मकान. हम इस मकान से निकल नहीं पा रहे हैं. बहुत तकलीफ हो रही है.
देखिए आपकी जो चार्ट है, यूर एन एरीज असेंडेड, और आपका मार्स जो है
हाँ
वो
जी.
थोड़ा कंबस्ट है. एक्चुअली थोड़ा नहीं, काफी ज्यादा कंबस्ट है. दैट विल कॉज प्रॉब्लम्स बिकॉज जो आपका सन और मार्स है, दे आर नॉट इवन हाफ अ डिग्री अपार्ट, बहुत ही क्लोज है. तो मार्स जो कंबस्ट हुआ है, इट विल कॉज इश्यूज, बट सन इज नॉट द रूलर ऑफ अ हार्ड हाउस हियर. तो कमिंग बैक टू योर, आई एम जस्ट एनालाइजिंग योर, आपकी जो कुंडली है डिटेल में देख रहा हूँ.
हाँ जी.
आपके लिए
हाँ
आपकी
जी.
कुंडली में अच्छे प्लैनेट्स आर मार्स, सन, मून विच इज एक्सट्रीमली स्ट्रांग, एंड जुपिटर. आपका लकीस्ट प्लैनेट जुपिटर है. अगर हमें आपका घर देखना है, दैट्स योर फोर्थ हाउस. हमें देखना है मून, जो उसका कारक होता है. दैट इज द हैप्पीनेस यू विल गेट इन लाइफ थ्रू मून. आपका फोर्थ हाउस का जो लॉर्ड है वो 5वें घर में बैठ गया वीनस के साथ. ये तो अच्छा योग बना रहा है. मून तो ग्रेट फ्रेंड साइन में है. तो आई डोंट नो, द ओनली इश्यू आई सी इज आपका जो सैटर्न है, शनि, वो थोड़ा सा एस्पेक्ट दे रहा है मून को, विच कॉजेज अ लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेस. कमिंग बैक टू योर क्वेश्चन, आपका जो मून है उसकी दशा आई नहीं है, लेकिन सैटर्न की दशा है, एंड सैटर्न रिप्रेजेंट्स प्रॉपर्टी. राइट नाउ सैटर्न की जो है, ही सिटिंग इन Aquarius 1 2 3. तो it is not a very favorable time for you to buy or move your house right now. I would advise against it. अभी सैटर्न मर्क्यूरी की दशा है, मत कीजिए कुछ. वो 12 घर दूर है. आपको सुनना अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, but it is, you have to really wait till at least March of 2026 if you want to buy a house. Don't do it before. It is not a good time.
पर सकेत जी, इस हाउस में भी तो मुझे कोई तकलीफें हो रही है. कोई हमारी प्रोग्रेस है. मेरे बच्चों की शादियां नहीं हो रही है, किसी की नहीं हुई है.
मैम,
डायरेक्शन हमारे मकान की साउथ की डायरेक्शन, इज इट फेवरेबल फॉर अस? हमारे साउथ की डायरेक्शन है मकान की.
आई ऑलवेज थिंक ये जो साउथ डायरेक्शन है या साउथ ईस्ट है या नॉर्थ वेस्ट है, दैट हैज मोर टू डू विद ओल्ड ट्रेडिशंस. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि इट डजंट हैव टू डू विद न्यू, बट कभी कभी क्या होता है, मे बी योर चिल्ड्रन आर नॉट गेटिंग मैरिड बिकॉज दे हैवंट मेट द राइट पार्टनर. मे बी दे आर नॉट गेटिंग मैरिड बिकॉज दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन करियर. आप उनसे पूछिए एक बार, आप शादी करना चाहते हो, कब करना चाहते हो, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली हो जाएगी. बिकॉज अगर हमने आपकी चार्ट से अगर आपके बच्चों की कुंडली बनाई, विच इज द 5th हाउस फ्रॉम यू, we are seeing
हाँ
Moon
जी.
and Venus, which is a good placement. You have one daughter?
आई हैव 2 daughters and 1 son.
हाँ,
और
तो
बच्चे भी बड़े हैं, कुछ छोटे नहीं है. बड़ी बेटी मेरी 52 की है, छोटी बेटी 49 की है, और मेरा बेटा भी 44 का है. किसी की शादी नहीं हुई है, और उनके कैरियर भी कोई जो है ना वो भी ठीक नहीं है. उनको कोई फाइनेंशियल.
आप ऐसा
हाँ जी.
कीजिए, just call our office also. We can guide you. We can talk to you there. But as far as the house goes, please wait. Don't do it before March 2026. It's not favorable for you.
तो फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर भी कोई चांसेस नहीं है हाउस के किसी तरीके से लेने के, कुछ हम मकान को?
चांसेस हैं बट अच्छा नहीं रहेगा आपके लिए. वो केतु दशा आएगी, इट विल नॉट बी गुड. यू आर गोइंग टू लूज मनी इन दैट. अवॉइड.
अच्छा, एक और
मैम
बात मैंने पूछनी है आपसे
मैम
कि
एक्चुअली
हमारे
देर
जो
आर
हाउस की
कॉलर्स.
डायरेक्शन को...
जी
हाँ
मैम,
जी,
आई एम सो
एक
सॉरी टू
सेकंड
ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट यू. जी, आप साकेत जी के ऑफिस में कॉल कर सकती हैं मैम. एक्चुअली देर आर कपल ऑफ कॉलर्स वेटिंग. 4086395300. दिस इज डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया का नंबर. आप उन्हें कॉल कीजिए. 4086395300. आप कॉल करके अपॉइंटमेंट ले सकती हैं, और या फिर उनकी वेबसाइट पे जाइए, विच इज saketbhatia.com. थैंक यू सो मच. We have another caller waiting.
Okay.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, sir, what are your details? Your birth, date, time, and place.
Wait, okay, so my birthday is October 1st, 1997. It was at 4:27 a.m. and I was born in Osaka, Japan.
You'll have to repeat that a little slowly. You were born in Japan. I got that part.
Yes.
Okay.
October 1st, 1997.
Okay. And that happens to be Wednesday. And the time?
4:27 a.m.
Okay, I have that. And this question is for you, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, what is your question?
Currently looking for work. When will I be hired?
When will you be hired? So
Yes.
you're a Leo ascendant. Your sun happens to be very well placed in the second house. You do have an eclipse in your second house though. Okay. You have Mercury there. What is your profession?
Paralegal, so I would say law.
Paralegal law. Your Jupiter is retrograde in Capricorn. Jupiter is debilitated. Mercury is exalted. देखिए जो Jupiter debilitated है, that's the one that created a problem. Have you lost your job recently?
Correct.
Yeah. You have Jupiter sitting in the sixth house, which is house of, I would say, enemies, lawsuits, slash, what's the right word? Sudden breaks. But your Jupiter is placed in the eighth house in the Navam's chart, which is abrupt end. Now, a good time for you to get your job, we'll have to study your 10th house, right? Which is ruled by Venus. Venus की दशा तो चल नहीं रही अब. It's not. Rahu dasha is on. 7, 8, 9. I don't see Rahu giving a direct aspect on that house. If I were you, a good time would be now to December. That seems promising for you till December 21st. If that happens, good, extremely good for you. If that doesn't happen, then I see you getting a job after 8th May 2024, all the way down to 28th of March 2025. So you have 1 year to get a job. You'll get a job in that frame for sure. But if you get it before December, great. Otherwise, I think you'll have to wait for another 5 months.
Good to know. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call. Listeners, सुन रहे हैं आप the Saket Bhatia Astrology Show. And if you would like to connect with Dr. Saket Bhatia after the show, 408-639-5300. That's the number. You can connect with him after the show. Or if you have any question, 510-770-1550 is the studio line number. info@saketbhatia.com is where you can write to him, or just look for his name and you will find his website and a lot of resources. Saketbhatia.com is the website where you will get the information. So we have one more caller waiting.
Okay.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Go ahead with your details.
Hi, my birthday is August 11, 1982, and time of birth 4:30 p.m. Place of birth Prayagraj, India.
कहाँ पर कौन से स्टेट में है वो?
Uttar Pradesh. It used to be called Allahabad.
अच्छा.
India.
Okay. So Uttar Pradesh.
जी.
And what is your time again?
4:30 p.m.
16:30. And can you reconfirm your date again? It's August 11th, 1982.
Yeah.
Okay, तो आपकी चार्ट बन गई है. क्या क्वेश्चंस है आपके?
I'm working, but I want to know, would I progress in my current job, or would I get a change in my job soon, or should I go for like self-employment or a business?
What are you doing?
I'm an IT professional.
So you're an IT professional. your IT is run by two planets, Mars and Mercury. Okay. Now, Mars and Mercury together in your chart, Mercury जो है, he is lord of the 10th house and is very well placed in the 9th. उससे क्या होता है, वो जो राजयोग बन जाता है, that is extremely strong. It will be there with you for life. And Mars जो आपका है, he is sitting in the 11th house, the house of gains. My advice is don't switch your career. Don't switch anything you're doing. Now, the other question is how far will you go in life? How far you will go, you have Saturn which is sitting in your 10th house. ये Saturn जो है ना, he's in a great friend sign, and in your kundali, Saturn happens to be not a good favorable planet. Doesn't mean anything. It just means you're going to be stuck in your job for a while. Dasha nahi aayi switch karne ki. You will be content in your career, you will be happy in your career, and you'll do well. My advice is, unfortunately, do not try switching your career right now. Don't try starting your own IT business right now. वो दशा नहीं आई है. Should you do it later,
Okay.
we'll have to do more studies. But in a nutshell, do not try doing anything all the way down till 2026 April. It's not advisable. Keep this growth. But एक बार राहु की दशा आती है, which is going to take place in 2026. Think about partnership with someone to start a business. Because Rahu
Okay.
आपका मूल त्रिकोण में है, you will be fine. But again, you can always ask, offline also if you want. But in a long story short, Venus, Mercury, Moon sitting in your Navam chart will give you a good amount of satisfaction in your life with your job. You'll be happy. Okay?
मैं आपका शो कई हफ्तों से सुन रही हूँ.
Okay.
आपने एक बार बात की थी योग की कि
हाँ जी.
कुंडली में योग होते हैं, एंड यू डिस्कस्ड अबाउट लाइक सम फेमस पीपल्स योग. तो मेरी कुंडली में कुछ योग है क्या?
आपकी कुंडली में बहुत योग है. कौन से वाले चाहिए आपको? You want me to, because आपकी कुंडली में I'll tell you, you have गज केसरी योग, which is a very strong, powerful योग. It will remain with you for life. और आपका जो गज केसरी योग है is a very strong one. आपका Jupiter is lord of your ascendant and your property, house, married life. जो moon है, he is also sitting in the 5th house. So you're intelligent. I understand that moon is lord of the 8th, which is not considered the best. But आपका गज केसरी योग strong है, number one. You also have other yogs such as Kahala योग. आपका लगना बहुत strong है. You're an aggressive person. You know what you want in life. आपके राज योग कम से कम 6 बनते हैं. धन योग कम से कम 8 बनते हैं. और कितने योग चाहिए आपको? अगर आप सब योग ले गए तो हमारे पास क्या बचेगा? Okay,
नहीं, मुझे बस क्यूरियोसिटी
you
थी.
also
So
have
thank you so much.
also have Guru Mangal Yoga, which is extremely good. You have Shukra Yoga. These are intelligent yogas that make a person very learned, very skillful. Now it's up to you to make use of those yogas to make your life better. Okay?
Okay.
Do well.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you so much for your call. If you have further questions, definitely आप call कीजिए Dr. Saket Bhatia को directly on his office number, which is 408-639-5300, or just write to him info@saketbhatia.com. जी
So अभी हम एक थोड़ा discuss करते हैं.
जी
We'll try making it very easy for people to understand.
about
Right?
the yogs.
नहीं, योग तो हो गया. योग
Because
तो-
लग रहा है मुझे interest आ रहा है. In fact, I was tempted कि I should get my birth date and find out the yogs in my kundli.
You should.
Yeah.
We'll have a show on Vedika next week.
That's my good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. तो क्या होता है अभी? We are going to make it sound easy for individuals now. Okay. I'm trying to make this a very friendly show. At the same time, it is complicated, but at least कुछ तो knowledge मिले आपको.
Absolutely.
So let's start with this, right? आपकी D10 chart है. Now we're not talking Janam Kundli. We're talking D10 chart. There are rules. For example, planet की dignity, which is how happy the planet is, the degree of the planet. All that is found only in the D1 chart, Janam Kundli. You have to take those attributes from the D1 chart and put it in the D10 chart. So let's assume कि आपका D10 chart जो है, अगर आपका D10 chart में जो first house है, what does that represent? It represents you. If the D10 chart first house is weak, पूरा career खत्म हो जाता है.
Okay.
These are people who switch job after job after job. Sometimes they're in IT, sometimes they're in real estate. The other time they're trying a franchise. They're trying everything else, right? तो हम जब D10 chart पढ़ते हैं, first study the first house, then study the 10th house. I'm going to go through this fast. अगर आपका जो first house है, if the 10th lord is in the first house, then we know your chart is strong. you're going to be focused on yourself, your growth, your personality. It's considered a good chart. Second chart जो है, second house is about what? Communication. Speech. Now, अगर इस कुंडली में second house में अच्छे planets बैठे हैं, then you become someone like you.
Okay.
RJ, you have good speech, you have good control on your mind, you're able to merge these two together to have good communication skills with people. This is second house for D10 chart. D10 chart. अगर and these are people who can come out in life. अगर पीछे जो बैठते हैं जैसे directors होते हैं, producers होते हैं, they have negative planets sitting in the D10 chart in the second house. So they are at the back end, they don't get the visibility they should get.
Okay.
अगर third house में planets ज़्यादा बैठे हैं, so we know you're going to do things related to the first house, which is Uber driver, sales job, घूमोगे फिरोगे, those kind of things. अगर fourth house में बैठ जाते हैं, then you're going to be doing other stuff that is related to house, property, stuff that is going to give you more satisfaction as opposed to stress. So that's a good placement. जो fifth house है D10 का, that relates to intelligence. अगर उसमें planets ज़्यादा हैं, then we know you're going to use your mind a lot more. Creative people, surgeons, people who are doing, research or something innovative, they have more planets in the fifth house. जो sixth house है, that is planet of enemies. तो उस पे we can see how many people don't like you at work or how many difficulties you're going to have at work. However, अगर आपके पास planets like Sun, Mars और Saturn बैठे हैं, then they're very good. Seventh house जो है chart पे, it denotes business, partnership. Sixth house denotes people that are going to work for you or service. तो इसमें फर्क होता है. If somebody has a strong sixth house, he's going to work for someone. If he's got a strong seventh house, he is going to have a business partnership.
People are going to work for him.
Eighth house generally represents breaks, sudden breaks, rapid ends. तो अगर आपके planet ज़्यादा eighth house में है, then we can tell कि something not so good, favorable is going to happen to you.
Okay.
Ninth house, a very lucky house, house of luck, spirituality. अगर आपके ninth house strong है, then we know कि you're going to be a very lucky person. It's that person जो आप जानते हो who gets everything done easy in his career and goes up the easy way while you're struggling all the way wherever you are sitting today. कि वो उसने तरक्की क्यों की?
वो ninth house.
Ninth house है. He has got a strong ninth house. 10th house, ये important है. 10th house is the second most important house in the D10 chart. First house in any chart is always the first house, सबसे important. 10th house अगर strong है, then we know. वो हम study करते हैं depending on the planet sitting on it कि कहाँ जाओगे आप life में. अगर उसमें अच्छे planets बैठ गए, बहुत तरक्की करोगे. बुरे बैठ गए हो तो you're going to struggle. Again, astrology does not deny. It will not make you fail in life. Astrology will give you a house, wife, kids, money. You just have to work hard for it. 11th house gains है. And 12th house जो है, काफी astrologers गलती करके कहते हैं, आपका planet 12वें घर में चला गया, loss हो जाएगा. No. 12th house is also considered foreign residence. If you have planets in the 12th house, it means you can actually start a business overseas. Important. So these is how you analyze the 12th house. अब इसके बाद थोड़े से और डिटेल करेंगे हम.
Yeah, so you are saying when you mentioned that अगर कोई negative aspect भी है कहीं किसी चीज का, if some placement is there in your chart, so does that mean there is everything not completely bad? There is some good in there as well?
रावण में भी कुछ गुड था.
बहुत गुड था.
तो who are we then?
Absolutely.
Every chart has a very, very strong positive outlook. अगर आप chart बनाओ and you look at the good planets and the bad planets and the placement of those planets in the house, in the good houses, bad houses, you do the permutation combination, 100% of the time, the good overrides the bad. In every person's kundali, the amount of good stuff way overrides the bad stuff. But हमारा mind ही ऐसा है, we don't accept.
Yes.
We are never accepting what we have. We are always chasing things we want. The day we sit and say कि we are happy, that's the day you'll be peaceful. अभी आपको बताते हैं, कल yesterday was New Year. So I was sitting in the temple, right? I had gone to one of the temples here. I thought I'll go there, माथा टेक के आरती देख के आ जाते हैं, in probably 20-30 minutes. I ended up spending 2 hours there. And then my wife asked me, what would you like to be in your next birth? She just asked me.
Okay.
I said, I'd like to be a
Interesting
pandit.
question. Okay.
I'd like to be a pandit. It's come to my head many times. मुझे बनना है. It's something that makes me happy. So learn not to chase everything you want in life. accept what you have, family, friends,
Yes.
health सबसे important है.
Yes.
वो chase करो and everything else will fall into place. Because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Wonderful,
It
wonderful
could be
thought.
it could be very good for you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so when we talked about D1, D10, are there any more charts as like beside D10 or D1 जो कि हमारे करियर को या हमारी लाइफ की डायरेक्शंस को डिसाइड कर रहे हैं?
16 charts हैं.
Okay.
So we were studying the D1 chart and we are studying D10 chart.
Yeah.
The chart that is most important between them is called the Navamsa chart. The D9 chart.
9.
9 luck होता है, 9 spirituality होता है.
Yes.
उसकी chart important होती है. General strength of your chart is also based on Navams. हमने कहा था astrology में they always give this example. If you have a very strong first house but a very weak D9 chart, then think of it as a big tree with no fruits.
What's the use of it?
What's the use of it? On the other hand, if you have a very weak first house but a very strong Navams chart, you're like a small tree with lots of fruits making everybody happy. तो Navams का जो है, it is satisfaction that you will get in life from life in general. And वो strong होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. क्योंकि कोई लोग ऐसे होते हैं, no matter what, they're always happy. They're always smiling.
जी.
They're always content. Right? तो I mean, this is a good chart. This is a good human being. तो Navams chart पढ़ना चाहिए. अगर आपका, let's say, the planet of luck, grace, fortune, Jupiter is very weak in your D1 chart.
Okay.
But आपके D9 chart में वही planet exalted हो गया, a lot of the bad effect of Jupiter is already removed. On the other hand,
Okay.
अगर planet बहुत strong है आपकी chart में, लेकिन नवम chart में debilitated है, तो उसकी जो promise है वो काफी हद तक थोड़ी चली जाती है.
Okay.
Those are
the effect
yes.
of 9.
That's the effect of the D9 chart. But we are talking of D10 today.
जी.
आपको एक चीज बताते हैं D10 में, if the listeners are there and they go on a website, they say I want to build my D10 chart. आप D10 chart बनाइए अपना. Look at what planet is sitting in your 10th house. And again, this is not going to be absolutely perfect because आप astrologer तो हो नहीं, but at least you'll get an idea. If sun is sitting in your 10th house, what should you be doing? You should be sun, which is, you know,
Brain.
the brain. It is your soul. It is you. If it is sitting in the 10th house, you should be in a career related to the government, politics, helping people. IAS officer, IFS officer, IPS officer, politicians. All these usually have a very strong sun in the 10th house.
Okay.
Remember, अगर 10th house में moon आ जाता है, now it's totally different. This is a job which is caring for people, nursing, social activity, love.
Moon is your mind.
Moon is your mind.
जी.
So imagine people who nurses, they take care of people. They have a very strong mind. They see sick people every day, but they don't break down.
Yeah, they're very strong.
Right? They're very strong. तो mind वो होता है. अगर Mars, planet of action चला गया 10th house में in the D10 chart, what does it represent? Police officers,
Oh.
firefighters, army. It also, Mars also represents technology. Modern technology, जो 5000 साल पहले astrology में लिखा था, they did predict modern technology like computers.
जी.
That is Mars. अगर Mercury चला गया, then Mercury is a planet of speech. It's like you.
Okay.
Radio jockey.
जी.
It could be TV actress. It could be people that write books, lawyers. It could also be editors, publishers, journalists. That is Mercury. Jupiter अगर चला गया in the 10th house, then it represents teaching, religious guru. Most of the time, when we come across religious gurus,
जी.
besides their first house, first chart, we also look at their D10 chart. और हम देखते हैं कि उनका Jupiter कितना strong है. And is it really sitting in the 10th house? That gives us a very good indication of how genuine the so-called guru is.
Wow.
अगर Venus आपका 10th house में चला गया, modeling, acting, real estate, anything to do with flair, flamboyant, great lifestyle.
Okay.
अगर Saturn चला गया 10th house में, शनि से तो सब डरते हैं, but it gives business administration, judge, lawyer, attorneys. अगर अभी जो individual who called us, so the legal profession, he had Saturn in the D10. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to do well. Because Saturn D10th में, this is, again, Saturn की degree is important, ना? अगर Saturn एकदम बीच में बैठ जाता है, then we know it could be a good chart for a judge. राहु केतु. राहु जो होता है, if it goes in your 10th chart, film directing, editing, motion picture, Rahu always expands, fame देता है. So don't worry of Rahu. एंड केतु जो है, पीपल गेट स्कैर्ड, बट केतु इज वेरी कॉमन इन द चार्ट ऑफ IT प्रोफेशनल्स, हार्डवेयर प्रोफेशनल्स, फार्मा,
Oh.
people who do chemistry,
Oh yeah.
organic chemistry.
Okay. So हाँ, तो फिर केतु भी है कुंडली में.
कि आपकी कुंडली में केतु भी है.
जी.
तो this is important. Now, besides this, we could also talk about planets कहाँ बैठे हैं, first lord कहाँ बैठा है, second lord कहाँ बैठा है, third lord कहाँ बैठा है, and then on that we can also get a better sense, because हमने एक शो में कहा था, wherever your first lord sits, that house is guaranteed. हमने कहा है ये. So if your first lord sits in the 8th house, you will inherit property, you'll have a long life, you'll have some knowledge of black magic or sciences or so on.
Okay.
अगर आपका first lord 7th house में बैठ गया, it's a beautiful chart. You'll have great relations with everybody, including your partner. Life आपकी अच्छी जाएगी because that lord looks directly at its house. अगर second house में चला गया, it's all about money, people you will value. So same way we could go on and on and on about this D10 chart. बहुत लंबा जा सकते हैं.
So when we talk about just like not related to this, but just a question popped it in my head. Ki sometimes it happens like people rely too much on their stars. Like as you are saying that they should learn how to get information about their astrological charts and all that. So what if people become relaxed? Okay, हमारी तो कुंडली में गज केसरी योग है.
Correct.
And nobody is putting efforts. कोई मेहनत नहीं हो रही है वहाँ पे. So then will it happen what's written in your stars?
So I have yet to meet one person in my life जिसने मुझे कहा है कि मेरी चार्ट इतनी अच्छी है मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा. In fact, it's the other way around.
You get motivated.
जिनकी चार्ट अच्छी है, they work harder,
जी.
they are more successful. और जिनकी चार्ट इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, they are the ones who should be putting in more effort, because level of achievement can be done the same. So देखिए, we are old enough now.
So there is no, I would say, substitute for hard work. Hard work तो आपको लगेगा.
Hard work तो आपने करना है.
चाहे जो भी योग है, चाहे जो भी stars हैं.
The योग makes you work hard automatically. जो योग नहीं है, that makes you relax more. And then when you relax, you tend to complain. ये थोड़े आगे चले गए, हम
जी.
थोड़े पीछे रह गए.
जी.
But life में stop comparing. It's not about comparing. It's about you. आपने
Yeah.
किसके against compare करना है?
That is something we should all learn, definitely.
You
No
don't need to
comparison.
compare. You're
Just compare
unique.
with yourself. I was there before, now I am here.
And that
That
is
is a good
something
comparison.
I'll
That's
be
gonna
saying
give you
towards the
happiness.
end of the show. मैं
जी.
ये कहूँगा कि you are who you are because of choices you made in the past. And you are who you will
Absolutely
be
correct.
because of choices you'll make today. वो
Absolutely.
कहना था मुझे.
जी.
But what I'm again coming back is, you do go to your doctor. When do you go to a doctor? When you're for your annual checkup.
जी.
You also go to a doctor periodically when you're not feeling well. Same thing should apply to an astrologer. You don't need to go to an astrologer every day. In fact, we tell people don't. If people come to us, we stop them. हमें नहीं है time, and we don't have it. It's not the right thing.
Yeah.
Have more confidence on yourself, but at the same time, come to the astrologer when you want to do something big.
Yeah.
शादी करनी
There is
है,
some change in life.
business है,
Right.
बच्चे हैं. Come to us. We can really give you valuable insights that will positively impact you for the rest of your life.
Right.
That's what astrologers do. Now, astrologers, some people have had not so pleasant experience with astrologers. Well, it is unfortunate, I would say. An astrologer is like a doctor. We look at you, we diagnose your chart, and we tell you what needs to be done. अभी किसी ने कॉल किया, हमने कह दिया, please don't buy the house. किसी को हमने कह दिया, it will be a while. But look at that. I said, you will get a job, but you're going to have to wait 5 months. उसके बाद your job dasha doesn't end for another 3 years. And I told you on the show, he has a very strong Saturn.
Right.
He's on the right career path and he's going to do well. हो जाता है. लाइफ में अप डाउन्स तो होते हैं.
जी.
अगर अप डाउन नहीं होंगे तो अप ही नहीं रहा. फ्लैट लाइन हो जाती है.
Exactly.
And फ्लैट
बुरे
लाइन
बुरे वक्त से अच्छे
pulse
का.
means it's over.
Yes.
Yes.
And when bad comes, you realize, oh, some time which was before it was good.
Yeah.
Definitely. So there has been a caller waiting since long. Can we take him on air?
Yes.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Go ahead with your details.
Hello, Dr. Saket ji, namaste.
Namaste, how are you?
Good, how are you, sir?
We're doing well. Sorry you had to wait so long. आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम रघबीर सिंह है जी.
Okay, Mr. Singh, आपका डेट ऑफ बर्थ क्या है?
21st August 1969
1969. Okay.
and place of birth is Mumbai.
अच्छा, आप तो हमारे टाउन के हो.
हाँ जी. और टाइमिंग है सर 11:50 PM.
Okay. So almost midnight.
हाँ जी.
Okay. और आप you were born on Friday. आपका क्वेश्चन क्या है?
My क्वेश्चन है साकेत जी कि मेरी हेरिटेज प्रॉपर्टी बॉम्बे में वो कब रिजॉल्व होगा उसका इशू?
उसका इशू क्या लॉ सूट चल रहा है उस पे?
नहीं वो जैसे अंडर रीडेवलपमेंट में जानी थी, लेकिन कभी लगता है कि अभी हो रही है फिर कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है, तो फिर स्टक हो जाता है. तो काफी अरसों से वो स्टक पड़ी है प्रॉपर्टी.
स्टक नहीं होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज अगर आप देखिए, हम जब चार्ट्स पढ़ते हैं ना, लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू समथिंग. हम आपकी चार्ट पढ़ रहे हैं. आपकी चार्ट में ऑन द इनसाइड 4 प्लैनेट्स यू हैव वीनस, जुपिटर एंड मून, और आपका तीनों अच्छे प्लैनेट अंदर बैठे हैं, विच इज ग्रेट. Saturn, which is the planet of property, is sitting in your second house, which means money. Venus, which is आपका जो प्रॉपर्टी का जो लॉर्ड है वो 5th हाउस में है. इट इज सिटिंग विद सन. सो यस, यू आर राइट, एंसेस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी है, इनहेरिट करोगे. 8th हाउस इज व्हाट इज इट, फैमिली वेल्थ विच यू विल इनहेरिट, वो बैठे आपके घर में. दशा स्टार्ट हो गई है. दशा स्टार्टेड December 3rd 2022, Venus Saturn. My suggestion, before 2026 you will have it done. Now question is, अगर उसके अंदर भी आपको रिफाइन करना है, then the dasha really starts 22nd Jan 2024 and should go all the way till September 28th 2024. That it should really be resolved by then.
Okay, dasha should be January 2024 से शुरू
हो जाती है.
Yeah. हाँ जी. और before 26 आपने बोला ना?
Yeah. Definitely.
So before
आपकी दशा चल रही है. Everything is looking very optimistic. Good luck for it.
Okay, thank you जी. क्योंकि ना काफी फैमिली इश्यूज चल रहे हैं मेरे पर्सनल लाइफ में भी, तो उस वजह से जरा इस चीज को लेके जरा ज्यादा परेशान था.
You can call us if you want. We can help you in many things. आप स्ट्रेस मत लो, चार्ट अच्छी है. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
थैंक्स फॉर योर कॉल. अगर आप कॉल करना चाहते हैं डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को आफ्टर द शो, 4086395300 इज द नंबर. लिसनर्स सुन रहे हैं आप द साकेत भाटिया शो ऑन रेडियो जिंदगी एवरी ट्यूसडे 4 to 5 PM. हम लेकर आते हैं डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को लाइव ऑन एयर. एंड अभी फिलहाल वी हैव 11 more minutes in this show and we have one more caller waiting.
Okay.
Let's take the call. Hello, you're on air with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Go ahead with your details.
Hi, Namaskar Bhatia ji. I have a question for my daughter.
Namaskar. Yes.
My daughter's name is Avantika and her date of birth is June 23rd, 2000.
June 23rd, 2000.
Uh-huh.
You sound
and the time is 10:54 a.m.
You sound very young. 10?
Who, me?
Yes.
My daughter.
No, you.
That's for my daughter.
Yeah, but ठीक है. आपका उनके टाइम क्या है आपकी डॉटर का, अवंतिका का?
10:54 a.m.
10:54 a.m. Okay. And her place of birth?
Is Castro Valley.
अच्छा, Castro Valley. Okay.
So मेरा क्वेश्चन उसके लिए ये है कि वो जब वो कॉलेज गई तो वो प्री मेड के लिए गई. अभी वो now completed her pre med. Now she is saying she doesn't want to go for medicine anymore, and still deciding. So I was wondering, she will be able to go to medicine, or is she going to be in a different field, or what field? So she's not sure.
So, आपकी daughter में the main ruling planet is sun. Sun happens to sit in the 11th house. Astrology में एक rule है, जो planet 11वें घर में बैठ जाता है, वो over time grow होता है. She's got Mars, Mercury, Venus, Sun, all these planets sitting in the 11th house. Mercury is retrograde. Venus is also strong. आपकी डॉटर की कुंडली में कोई ऐसा प्लैनेट नहीं है जो डिबिलिटेटेड है. जुपिटर और मून का गज केसरी योग बन रहा है, सैटर्न. सो योर डॉटर इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ डॉक्टर, शी इज गोइंग टू बी अ सर्जन. ये डॉक्टर की चार्ट नहीं है.
So she is just like staying home for like almost a year, and she's still not sure what she wants to study, and so
she's staying home for a year because right now उसकी जो दशा चल रही है सैटर्न की. एक और रूल होता है, जब सैटर्न की दशा चलती है, डजंट एस्पेक्ट द थर्ड हाउस, इट एस्पेक्ट्स द फोर्थ हाउस फ्रॉम इट. अननोन रूल. ये आपकी डॉटर की असेंडेंट पे एस्पेक्ट कर रहा है, बट इट मीन्स नथिंग. दिस इज द चार्ट ऑफ समबडी हु इज गोइंग टू डू सर्जरी. Saturn Mars dasha kicks in again for your daughter in 2024 September. She should go back to school by then. She will go back to school. and
Yeah,
she'll
because
do
that
very
is
well.
stressing me out. Like, at least go for something, you know.
If I had a chart like this for my child, I wouldn't be stressed. I'd be very happy.
Okay. Now I feel like, okay, at least she will go for that.
No, she's
But
going
just,
to. She will do it. हाँ, definitely her Mars is slightly weak. उसका जो
Mhm.
ability to take action at the right time is slightly weak. You have to work on that. That's it. Otherwise, the chart is good.
that is good. Okay.
Okay.
So she will definitely go to her medical field.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Because
No.
she's
She
deciding, she's thinking,
she'll be
what
fine.
should I?
नहीं, ये तो this is a good chart. We opened up her D10 chart also. वहाँ देख रहे हैं. We were discussing on the show today. No problem.
Yeah, that's what makes me to think about, like, ask you that question.
नहीं, she's got a good chart. I don't worry about her at all. Okay. Good luck.
Oh, thank you so much.
So now, yes.
Ji. So, listeners, if you're listening to us right now, we just have 7 more minutes in the show, and unfortunately, we won't be taking any more calls for this show. If you have any questions for Dr. Saket Bhatia, do give him a call directly after the show, 408-639-5300, or you can call us next week, next Tuesday, 4 to 5 p.m. के बीच में. So, yeah.
So I'm going to discuss one chart today.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for that.
This is an individual I met in 1995.
Okay.
And I had the privilege of reading his chart back then. And at that time, I was an astrologer, but not, I didn't have experience of 30
such
years.
Popular one.
No, popular to tha in one way or the other, but it was different back then.
Okay.
So I definitely was reading some people's charts. So this individual came to me because इनके जो astrologer थे, he happened to teach me.
Okay.
So his personal astrologer taught me, and I happened to read his chart. So this individual is born 11th October 1942, 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh. Amitabh Bachchan.
Amitabh Bachchan, yes. 11th October, Allahabad, I could connect the dots.
So I have read his chart at 3 different occasions. Okay. And I haven't spoken to him actually in a while. But here is the analysis, just basic analysis of why Amitabh Bachchan ji is who he is. Now, हमने काफी बार कहा है कि शनि जो होता है is a good planet, Shani is a stressful planet. So when I looked at Amitabh ji's chart, the first thing we do is, why did he suffer in life? Why did he have that fall? वो कौन सी दशा थी जब उनको इंजरी लगी? वो कौन सी दशा थी when he was almost out of money?
Financial.
And what is that dasha that he's running right now which will never end? His dasha is not going to end. His dasha is going to go on till even past his death. Now question is why? So Amitabh Bachchan ji जब पैदा हुए थे, he is an Aquarius ascendant. Aquarius का lord होता है Saturn. Saturn उनके चौथे घर में बैठ गया. Retrograde.
Okay.
Saturn शनि जैसा planet just, what did I say? Ascendant lord जिस घर में बैठता है, that house is guaranteed. And शनि जैसा planet जो इतना strong है और retrograde हो गया, he is going to do very well. 4th house is house of property.
Okay.
House of happiness that you get in life in general. It also is house of higher education. Okay. And love for mother. Remember these things.
Oh.
तो ये सारी चीजें थी, but mother के साथ since Saturn आ जाता है, it always will keep you some distance from your mother. We'll also study his 9th chart a little bit. Now, उनके जो लग्ना लॉर्ड है ना, वो जेमिनी नवमसा में बैठे हैं और अपनी ही राशि से 2 घर दूर बैठे हैं. Second house I told you is house of wealth.
Yeah.
Gains. Okay. Saturn blesses him with very hard work. When he met me, he was not very happy in 1995-96 time frame. Disappointed. He had come to the astrologer by the name of Ashwin, who has helped me a lot. And जब उनके साथ बैठे थे, he was obviously, popular man, big movies, but he had no work. And he had lost crores of rupees in ABCL
His
productions.
production,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
company.
cumulatively we read his chart. इनका जो जुपिटर है, वो जो सेकंड हाउस लॉर्ड है, इज एस्पेक्टिंग सेकंड लॉर्ड, अगेन हाउस ऑफ मनी. सो वी न्यू कि मनी तो आना है. तो ऐसा क्या हो गया चार्ट में जो गड़बड़ हो गई? वी फिगर्ड इट इज द 2 planets गलिका मंडी. गलिका मंडी आर द 2 moons of Saturn. इस जिस घर में बैठते हैं, इफ योर ascendant lord is not strong or your lord of day of birth is not strong or गलिका मंडी is not sitting in house number 3, 6, 8 or 11, then उनका असर बहुत strong हो जाता है. I know I said this easily, but
Yeah.
that's the way it is.
That's too much calculation.
जुपिटर जो है उनका सेकंड हाउस पे एस्पेक्ट करता है, एंड इट आल्सो इज लॉर्ड ऑफ द 11th. मनी के लिए ना 2nd, 11th, 5th और 9th का योग इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, और उनके केस में 2nd और 11th का योग हो गया. जुपिटर इज आल्सो एस्पेक्टिंग दैट, सो वी नो ही इज गोइंग टू मेक टन्स ऑफ मनी. Okay, but he took a big hit. उनका जुपिटर वर्गोत्तम में है. वर्गोत्तम means a planet which happens to be very strong in your birth chart or weak. अपने ही घर में बैठा है, दोनों अपने ही साइन में बैठा है, नवम्स चार्ट में और D1 चार्ट में.
Okay.
So strong. He had exalted Jupiter in the D9th house. गुरु मंगल योग बनता है. Fame, respect. Venus जो है उनका planet of luxuries, planet of acting, वो बैठ गया है debilitated state में, weak, but लेकिन strong Mercury के साथ बैठा है. So he's a very good poet.
Oh yes.
Why? Because Mercury उनका बहुत strong है.
Oh, I thought it's in his genes.
Mercury, yeah, we know his father, but this is what caused it. अभी उनकी जब 60 सती चल रही थी, that is the time when he got hit. He was, he had intestinal injury. So looking back at his chart, I can safely say, जो उनका Saturn बैठा है, he's an asthma patient, and he will be, and that is something that's going to cause him problem. If you want to know why, Saturn is the 4th house rule, and Moon जो Gemini aspect दे रहा है, on this is also Lord of the 6th house, which is disease. Venus उनके 8वें घर में बैठा है, chronic diseases का malefic sun के साथ और Mars के साथ, so he's going to have health issues throughout his life. Married life will have ups and downs. Now, that we could go on and on, but we need to close.
Yes.
We need to close the show. And मैं तो closing thoughts बताने वाला था, आपने पहले कट कर दिया मुझे. You made me say it a little before, but I want to talk.
I didn't cut you. I encouraged you to say something which you were planning to say later.
So I want to talk about choices.
जी.
Every day we make choices, right? We make choices. Some choices are good and some choices are not so good, right? These choices are made thinking about their outcome, right? Believe me, there is no such thing as a bad choice. अच्छी choices होती हैं और ठीक choices होती हैं. When you make a choice, you're always basing it on the information that you have available at the time you're going to make this decision. We can't and we should not base our choices on things we have no control on. Going back and regretting is not a useful thing. You're only going to feel bad. अगर आपको future पहले ही पता था तो आप वो choice नहीं लेते.
Absolutely.
We are a product of the choices we make, not the circumstances we face. Don't make choices based on fear of what might happen. You want to make progress in life, and without failure there is no progress. When you identify your choices, you are making better decisions. Make better choices. The worst thing in life is to do nothing. In closing, remember, you are who you are today because of the choice you made yesterday, and you will be someone tomorrow based on the choices you make today. So choose wisely, listeners. Make good choices. May good luck, good fortune, and godly presence always be with you.
Satyavachan.
Satyavachan.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Listeners, सुन रहे थे आप द साकेत भाटिया शो. Every Tuesday 4 to 5 p.m. लेकर आते हैं हम डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को ऑन एयर. So don't forget to tune in next week, and till then अगर आप उनसे कांटेक्ट करना चाहते हैं 4086395300 is his number, and his website is by his name saketbhatia.com, or write to him info@saketbhatia.com. With that, this is RJ Vedika signing off. GHL.
You are listening to Radio Zindagi. KZD